Vinny Pasquantino, and a pitching rotation led by Cole Reagans try to lead the Royals back to the postseason. That's Kansas City Royals baseball all summer long. On the air in Lincoln at 93.7 The Ticket.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards just south of 48th and Holdridge.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to another episode here of Beyond the Spotlight. I am one of your hosts, Rudy Gres, the fourth here alongside
Payton Barthelemy, actually.
There
we go.
Yeah, so first off, how are you doing today?
Man, I'm all right. It's a beautiful Sunday.
Yeah.
You know, woke up early, cleaned the crib, made sure everything was nice, spotless. Gonna go back, cook something later.
Nice.
It's a beautiful day out today, bro. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm tired, but good. I had a long day yesterday. I was at the Big Ten all day, so it was fun, but again, just very tiring.
I feel it.
But I'm doing all right. I got work today for a little bit, and then I'll be chilling for the rest of my day watching my Spurs later tonight. So that'll be hopefully good. They have not been looking good at all.
What do we think, though? Spurs to the finals? Is that happening?
I'm still bought in. It's just they're not performing as well as they need to right now. But
are they not
right.
flopping as well as the
exactly?
As the
that's really all it is.
That's what it is right now. In the league.
But anyways, for those of y'all who are tuning in for the first time or are tuning in again for our second time, as this is our second show ever so far. Last week we had a guest on for our first show, but today we're going to be doing something a little different. It'll be me and Payton here, just kind of deep diving into who we are, getting behind some of what got us here to Lincoln, Nebraska, specifically stuff from Wesleyan, and then kind of where we're at now, and then what sports have kind of done for us. So before we get into that, Payton, do you want to tell people what sport you played at Wesleyan and how you kind of got into that?
All right, so at Wesleyan, I played football and I ran track for a year, and that was great. That dual sport athlete time span that I had was honestly one of the most hardest thing I did in my life, but like one of the most rewarding as well. Yeah. It felt crazy good. But no, I'm originally from New York, but then I moved down to high school. Last 2 years of high school down in Florida. And that's where Wesleyan kind of found me. I played football down there. I was a running back in DB.
Nice.
And then they kind of came on and got me I think they hit up my coach. Yeah, they hit up my coach. They wanted to talk to me. I spoke to Adam Paz. We talked about my grades, 4.0, by the way, in high school.
Nice.
And then they were like, yeah, man, we can get you on here and this and that. And then, I mean, the rest is kind of history. That's kind of how I started football-wise.
Nice. So for those that don't know, I think a lot of people probably do know, but our track and field team is one of the at least more elite in the Division III world across the country. So how was that, doing that, being a part of that team for a season? How was that with Coach McKenzie and all those guys?
D-Mac. Love Coach D-Mac. I think he was one of the one coaches there at that school that I can say is really caring about each and every one of their athletes, really paying attention to them too, how they are on and off the track. So especially off the track, if you're not doing so well or anything like that, D-Mac is a coach that will be keeping eyes on you, keeping tabs on you, making sure you're okay. So just that part alone made me feel amazing being part of that team. And then it got to the competition. So I had a couple of friends, obviously, who, you know, are pretty fast. They're one of the fastest guys in this ARC conference, and going against them every practice and, you know, kind of our block starts and our reps and just kind of copying them felt really good. One of the greatest guys I ever worked with in track, Morgan Connor. I don't know if you remember him, but I think he has like a top 5 time of all time. For the 200, I think he ran like a 19 something or 20 something. It was amazing. Yeah. But watching him run that 200 one day at practice was like, I need to get this stuff right. I need to get better. I need to get like that guy.
Yeah. And I think too, people probably don't realize how much talent we do have at Wesleyan, because obviously on paper it's just a D3 here in Lincoln. There's bigger things that kind of go on here that people worry about. But like you're saying, we have national championships. The Ticket's own Bella Hogue, who used to work here during that time. Yeah. She was a national champion, all these things. And it's like, these are the people that we go to school with. And I think my favorite thing about Wesleyan is how personable it is. And I've mentioned that before, but with how small our campus is, I feel like you kind of know everybody to some extent.
Yeah.
And I think when it comes to the athletes, we kind of don't all merge over at least every sport. And so there's people that I don't talk to, but I can see what they're doing. And it's always cool to just, you're like, whether I'm in the weight room, whether we're in the rot eating or whatever it is, it's like there's people in here who are just some of the best talent, at least in our conference for the like the standard being that. And I think that's just super interesting. And for baseball, I know like we had a pretty down year this past year, but I think us too, like the program itself is getting better. Our coaches are better. Our head coach, Jeff Christie, he was a pitching coach for Nebraska before going to Wesleyan. He also played in Nebraska as a starting catcher and all that. And so I think they're starting to care more about who they bring in as far as coaches goes. They're going for whether it's younger, which is better, or they're going for people with more experience, like at the higher levels of stuff. Because I know the softball coach is pretty young. She got hired, but they obviously had a solid year. We have a brand new entire coaching staff going into their second year. So I think that we are starting to see an emphasis of where they're not just scraping by. I think we've seen some teams kind of get just coaches who kind of fill the spot versus who actually want to be there. And I think now we're starting to see a little bit different from that. So did you have any coaching changes on the football team during your years here?
Wow. I mean, yes and no. So my head coach all 4 years was Brian Keller.
Mm-hmm.
And as you know, this past year, he doesn't work there anymore. Retired, kind of 30-year tenure done with. So yeah, didn't have a new head coach, but I had a new DC change at some point. So I think from that off time between freshman and sophomore year, we got Will Lawrence. Love that guy. Honestly, one of my all-time coaches. He's definitely going down there. And then what else? Then we had obviously we just had a whole recent staff change. Everybody got changed. Not a single person stayed except for assistant coach Dylan Kurtz. Other than that, that's the only coaching changes I've had in college.
Yeah.
Never went to a different school. Been in Wesleyan all 4 years. Still got 2 years of eligibility, so we'll see how that goes. Right.
Nice. Yeah, we on the baseball side of things are probably the exact opposite. I think I got recruited by our head coach at the time, who was John Ripel, and then he ends up, as soon as our season's over, like I think we're probably 3 weeks into the summer, he's like, "All right, guys, we're having like a mandatory team meeting tonight on Zoom," because it was obviously over the summer, so we just did it on Zoom. And I missed it because I had a doctor's appointment because I'd gotten hurt again, obviously. And so I was like, "Yeah, like I'll catch up on it." He's like, "No, just call me after, like it'll be fine." I'm like, "Okay, that's cool." And so I called him, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm taking a job in Tennessee, like whatever." So he ends up leaving, going to coach at a junior college there. But there was like more to it, and like obviously it was the best for his family, which is awesome. But so I was only with him for a year, and I think he was a great coach. Obviously, because for baseball you can either kind of be like defense and pitching focused as a head coach, or offensively focused, and he was offensively focused, which was awesome. So we would just hit so much, and that was just super cool. But after that, he ends up leaving. We have an interim head coach for the entire fall after that. And then we finally do get a coach in there, and wasn't the best. He had some 2 years with us, or 2 seasons with us, that just did not end well at all. And there's not much else to kind of say, at least on the radio. But I mean,
where was I on this?
Yeah, so he ends up leaving. Whatever, we don't got to talk about that. But he ends up leaving, and so then we come into this would be my junior year technically, where we don't have a coach. And then for like the first at least couple weeks going into the summer or ending summer, we still had no idea what we were doing. And then we find out we do get a coach, and everyone's like, "Oh, like who is it?" And then it turns out again it's the former Nebraska coach. He ends up coming here, and we had like one of our best seasons ever last year. But still, in the process, I've had technically like 4 head coaches here.
Oh man.
Yeah, just with interim, we had 2 interim head coaches, and then 2 new guys, and then the one that I came in with. So yeah, like 4 or 5. But
I think it's so easy to get wrapped up in your own sport, because I didn't even know this.
Yeah.
I was not in tune with any of this. The only 2 sports I paid attention to a lot was track and football, exactly what I was in. So, but I did also see, I mean, women's soccer too. Like I think they've had 5 different, and I don't know how many different head coaches. Do you remember?
Yeah.
I know they just got a new one this past year. Then they had a new one a year or 2 ago as well. Are they in the same boat as you? Are they up there in the numbers?
I think there may be like a couple. I think they've probably had 3 since I've been here.
Okay.
I'll find a way to check. But yeah, I mean, it is interesting for sure. But I just think it's cool because like I'm very big on like, okay, kind of like experiencing things and just kind of going through them in the moment, and like not appreciating them, but like understanding like, okay, like this is just something that I've got to ride the wave with. And I don't think
Right.
many people that I don't have too many friends that kept playing baseball in college for whatever reason, but none of them really had to go through this, and none of them had to like at least learn how to play under basically 4 different coaches in the span of 5 years, and each coach asking like different things of us and different play styles, all this and that. So like I think it's just super cool, and I do want to coach at some point on the side. We'll see if that ever happens. I coached last summer, so
Oh
that was
yeah,
cool.
man.
But like all these things that I'm kind of going through are things that I'm just learning for myself and learning about the sport in general because coaches changes happen everywhere. We see them Memorial Stadium more often than not
Yeah.
every now and then. So it's just cool to kind of understand all that.
I
But
mean, we just saw like 6 of them in one season for
yeah,
NFL ball. Like that's crazy.
yeah, no,
It
it's an interesting feeling for
it
sure.
just makes me put into perspective. I mean, Wesleyan just had a football coach for 30 years.
Yeah,
Put that into perspective. You know, the guys are getting fired after 2, after 1, honestly, if a bad season or whatever, or coaching changes happen. But they're 30, man, Rudy,
hmm
that's crazy.
yeah, it is. It is definitely an interesting feeling being on a team without a coach, especially when they just leave from one moment to the next. It feels like, which is never cool. But I mean, you got to understand it, I guess, because at the end of the day, everyone's just doing whatever they got to do for themselves, and I think
Right.
that's what we learned. And then you get a coach like Jeff Christie, very much turns the program around. Kind of didn't have a great year this year, but I'm not going to blame him or blame us. It's just a very bad year for us this year. So I think they'll be fine. They'll be in good hands. But so when you were getting recruited to be at Wesleyan, were there any other schools that were kind of standing out to you, or was it just Wesleyan the whole way?
Oh yeah, no, I had a couple offers, from various places. There was another college or there's about 2 of them in Illinois. Um, those were the pretty up there in front runners. Honestly, I almost went there. um,
Yeah.
it was really just I think it between that one college in Illinois and Wesleyan, it was maybe just an extra message or so that
Okay.
got it,
Yeah.
honestly, because it was that close. I mean, both schools really gave me the feeling of, "Hey, we want you here. Like,
Yeah.
we're gonna take care of you. We're gonna watch over you. We're gonna make sure you're focused. We're gonna give you a plan," kind of thing like that. That's what I really liked in any of my coaching talks or recruitment talks. But yeah, it was just between that and another school was really just an extra text or so.
Nice.
Um, but then I also had other offers for lacrosse because I played lacrosse in high school.
Okay.
So I almost just cut the football, everything out and to begin with and just went full-time lacrosse.
How'd you get into lacrosse?
New York. So I think it was my seventh grade year. Yeah. Um, I was doing a lot of sports, man.
Yeah.
Already, I ran track, I did football, and then I think I wanted to do a different sport again, maybe baseball. But then I think someone told me to get into lacrosse. I forgot. Well, I think one of the coaches also coached lacrosse, and he was like, "Man, I would love you on the team. You could be a midi. Like, we'll teach you stick skills, but we can't teach the speed and
Yeah.
athleticism." So I joined 7th grade and then never looked back.
Nice.
It was really fun. It was
Nice.
really
Yeah, I
fun.
think too, like you hear it a lot for kids growing up about like the importance of playing other sports.
Mhm.
And I was obviously I played other sports growing up too. It was mainly football and baseball for me growing up. And then I got to high school and then I actually ended up playing tennis and I was pretty good at that. That was fun for a little bit. And then I think I probably did that for 2 seasons and it was cool. I won some pretty good matches against some pretty good schools. So like I was holding my own, which
Tennis.
was pretty cool. Yeah.
Really,
Yeah.
Rudy.
I was pretty good at it
I
too.
would not pitch you as a
I know.
tennis guy.
But I was good
Oh,
at it. It was fun. And then like it helps whenever I go cover the tennis matches here at Nebraska because I at least understand more than just a casual tennis fan, I would hope.
okay.
And
You're
so
not
it's
a
been cool.
casual.
No,
Okay.
yeah. When it comes to tennis, no, I'm good. But tennis is super fun. I love playing baseball, obviously. I think baseball is probably the hardest sport. I don't care what anybody says, obviously. In order like to hit a baseball, you got to hit a round baseball coming at you at 90 miles per hour and somehow square it up. And I think that's just the best thing in the world because obviously there's a lot of failure in there, and that's what makes it not fun, but that makes it at least
Yeah.
challenging and makes it worth doing.
Rudy,
And so I think I had to learn that the hard way.
Rudy,
But fun.
baseball will forever go down as the one sport that I regret never playing.
Yeah,
I want to play baseball
it's
so bad.
fun.
I'll even join like a company league. We should
Yeah.
start like a league here
Oh god.
at 93.7 the ticket.
I
Just a
I
little
don't think I don't know. I think
for
it probably
baseball.
it would just be me and Tristan doing something out there. And maybe
I
and
don't,
Nick,
hey,
and Nick,
no,
and
hold
Nick.
on. I could go crazy out there.
I don't know. Have you
I
ever
just
swung a bat?
yes, wiffle ball.
That's
I'm crazy,
completely different.
man. I'm a
I
pro.
could we got to set it up. I'll pitch to you. I get I get like 3 at bats. They'll all be strikeouts. I'll be fine.
Okay. Oh yeah,
Right.
sure.
All right, then you can pitch to me too, and then
I'll
we'll
hit
see.
it out you won't hit a single thing at the
Yeah,
range.
you're not going to throw a strike. That's why. But anyways, but no, like baseball for us, I think too, like even at the Division III level, not that people ever shoot down on it or anything, but I think it's interesting to see the talent difference because like I was at the Big Ten tournament this weekend, and so there's obviously guys there who are throwing 95 miles per hour who are probably going to get drafted or signed at some point. But there's also some guys who are throwing like 88 to 90, which is what we usually see here. And there was a decent amount of guys who were sitting in that velocity range. And it's not that I was thinking there that, oh, I can go hit off this guy, but to be able to just say like, we have guys in our conference who do that. We have guys in our conference who are all Americans, who are some of the best pitchers in the entire country from like things like that, where our talent's not too far off. I just think the biggest difference for baseball is who's able to do it more consistently is all it ever comes down to. Like if I can go hit a baseball, I go get a base hit 3 out of 10 times, I'm batting 300. But if someone in Nebraska can do it 6 out of 10 times, it's like, yeah, there's no doubt that they're taking the more consistent hitter all the time. And that's super fun. I love how hard baseball is because it's something not everybody can do. And I think that like me and Nick Sainer talk about it all the time. Last night, me and Tristan were on the post-game show for baseball talking about it. And it's cool because like I can talk baseball with anybody. When me and DP even talk baseball, he's a baseball player. So like the talks that kind of only baseball players understand are super cool because it's like, yeah, exactly. It's like a whole different thought process about things because there's obviously just the game of baseball itself, but there's so many games in the game. And like, I'll be up there and I've always thought I was a smart hitter. I didn't strike out too much. I got walked a lot. I'd hit the ball a lot. And so like, it was super fun because I love the idea of hitting, like the art of it. Because I'd be in the box and if there's a pitcher who's throwing nothing but fastballs, it's like, okay, you kind of know what to expect. But as soon as they start like changing things up and then you can pick up on tendencies, I think that's what separates a lot of hitters is who's able to pick up on like what the pitchers do and just how I've always thought about myself when I'm hitting. Like if I was a pitcher, what would I do to myself or what would I pitch to myself? And usually more often than not, I was right about some of those ideas. And so I learned how to just be a good hitter on what my weaknesses would have been to other teams. And I think that's like one of those things that baseball is just so fun for because they're like, you have to be thinking all the time without trying to think. And I think that's where guys kind of mess up a lot, but it's fun. I love baseball.
Yeah. I mean, I say it all the time on MLB The Show. I'm the greatest shortstop alive. I love, but I think in real life, I'd be the greatest shortstop alive too if I ever played, Rudy. So I think all the other schools in the ARC are lucky that I didn't play.
Yeah. Not us though. I guess we would have needed you then. You could have taken Duncan Ortega's spot.
I would have been amazing. I would have ran bases at least. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. You could have done that for me. That was a big get on base and they take me out and I was fine with it. I love that.
Yeah.
Those were the best days ever. Especially I'd come off the bench or something, get on base, and I'm like, all right, I know I'm done. Like there was times where I'd get on and they'd keep me out there and I would talk to my coach at first base or something. I'd be like, why are we doing this? Like, why am I still out here? But it was cool. I loved it. But with that being said,
fastest guy, huh?
Oh no, not at all. That's why you got to hit the ball far though, because then it's the further it goes, the less you got to worry about being fast.
Oh yeah.
So that was always fun.
Stride it out.
Exactly. Yeah, like I think so. Last year, my junior year, technically, junior year of eligibility, we went to Florida for our spring break trip, and we do that every year. That. Yeah, we went to California. So I've been to Florida for the 5 spring breaks. So it was Florida, California, Texas, Florida. Wow. And so we went last year, and like last year, I don't know if anyone remembers or was aware, but we were on like a 5-game, or we were on a 4-game win streak here to start our first 4 games of the year. Mm-hmm. And then we get to Florida, and we're on a 5-game win streak, and then 6, and then 7, and then 8, and then we ended up getting to 9 straight wins, which is like the first time in our program's history since like 1970 or something. And so like we were on a hot streak, and like we were out there, and I don't think there wasn't really a single time where anybody in that lineup was hitting bad, which is just crazy. And so there was one game in particular we're playing, and I'm up to bat, and I have a runner on second or whatever it was, and I hit a home run to like left field, and like I'm coming around the bases, and obviously their fans are just talking trash. The pitcher's mom specifically was just like, I'm coming down the third base line, and she's just yelling. I don't know what she's saying, but I know it's her because she's been yelling all game. Okay. And so after the game, everything's going good. We ended up winning by 1 somehow. We should have won by more, but we ended up winning by 1, which was fine. Our streak, I think our streak was over by then, but still, we were like 9-1 at that point.
There you go.
And so we're playing. Everything's good. We end up winning, and we're doing like our high fives after the game, like just good game. And then we get to it's me and the pitcher. We like end up high fiving, obviously. And he's like, man, you got bleeping lucky, like whatever. And I turned around and I was like, what are you talking about? And then we got into it a little bit in the high five line. Some of my teammates were talking trash, and it was like so fun, but it's so cool because I love like being able to talk trash. And I think baseball is one of the sports that you kind of get away with it a little bit more. because there's not a ref everywhere. And I mean, football, I'm sure you get away with it because you got the helmets on. There's refs, again, mid-play, nowhere over there. But with baseball, like the trash talking is a lot more of like body language and like there's been times where I'll talk trash or I'll do something that pisses off the pitcher. And then my next at bat, I'll get hit in the elbow, and it's like, okay, like it's an insane thought process that I made that guy mad. Now he gets to hit me with an 85-mile-per-hour fastball. But
hey, but you're on base.
Exactly, that is true. That's all that I cared
about.
So
you really won. I mean,
yeah.
No, for football, dude, as a wide receiver, whenever I played wide receiver at Wesleyan or anywhere, really anything on offense, I talk trash after every single rep, every single play, no matter what the outcome was.
Yeah.
I remember my freshman year here, I think I like played on the JV game against Hastings.
Okay.
I lost the corner somehow, but then I think they might have switched off. So safety was on me and I was burning him. I was beating him. And then the ball did not go to me though, at all. Like I completely distracted everybody out of the play. Yeah. But at the end of the rep, I just talk trash. I talk smack every single rep, every single play. I love it. I think it's the funnest thing in the world.
Yeah. I love it too. Cause I'm, like a lot of our trash talk too at practice would be fun. Like whenever we were scrimmaging or something. And so again, for better or for worse, and I know my teammates would attest to this 9 out of 10 times. There's some that I would let it like they were safe, but some of them like I clearly remember, and I won't say any names or even allude to anything, but it would have been my junior year again. We were in the fall, we were having a fall scrimmage, and our fall ball scrimmages get very intense because our teams get separated midway through. And so we'll have separate practices. So team 1 practices in the morning, team 2 practices at night or whatever it is. Like we'll separate it. And like, it was just so we can get that feel of like, okay, we really want to beat these guys even more. Yeah. And we're there. And there was this woman at the time who I was very interested in, whatever. Things were going good with her. It was awesome. And
no way.
There was a guy on our team.
No way.
And he was a pitcher. And I get a hit off of him, whatever. I bring in 2 runs. And I clearly remember that because it went up the middle. I almost hit him. And I'm on first, and I'm like yelling at him from first base at this point. And I'm like, I don't clearly remember the sentences I was saying, but I know I was throwing her name in there. And he knew about whatever was going on. And it was just so not fun. I mean, it was fun, but it's like after the game we talked about it. I was like, on the field, like I like to think I'm a very different person. I say, because like
absolutely,
if we're playing a game, I want to beat you. And realistically, my favorite thing to do is just get under somebody's skin because now, like, I know how that feels when I'm hitting. And it's like, oh, I hate this guy. And now I'm out of my approach. I'm out of everything I've worked for. And I know it's the same thing when you're pitching because now you're thinking, oh, I just want to strike this guy out. And I know for a fact you're probably throwing a fastball now. And so that was fun. But yeah, no, there's some teammates I think would probably say I've crossed some lines, but they all know like I mean well. And then we'll talk about it after. We're cool after. They'll come over. We'll go to parties, whatever it is. So it's like we're all good teammates. And I would never. The one thing I tell all of them, especially the freshmen, whenever they start getting the trash talk from me is like, I think I can do it. But I told them, I was like, if anybody else on this team else besides me or any other team said something, I was like, I'd be the first one to fight for it. So
okay,
I'm a good teammate. I just I like being the one to trash talk. That's really my thing. Yeah.
I mean, I love it.
Yeah. But with that being said, we will be taking our first break here. So, I mean, we'll figure out what we're going to talk about in the second segment here. We got through a lot there, but we'll figure it out. Again, this is Beyond the Spotlight here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nutrition Authority presents Fusion 30, an ultra premium protein ideal for anyone wanting to look, feel, and perform their best. Fusion 30 can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today for a free sample, visit with a certified nutritionist, and get better than internet pricing. For store info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
Gentlemen, are you ready for something beyond the ordinary haircut? At Scissors and Scotch Lincoln, they blend your old school barber feel with your favorite watering hole. Sink into a comfy chair, unwind with a complimentary drink, and let their master barbers handle the rest. It's not just grooming, it's an experience. Whether you're prepping for a big meeting, needing to get cleaned up before family comes to town, or just need a little time to yourself, Scissors and Scotch Lincoln delivers sharp style every time. Book now at Scissors and Scotch in Lincoln, just south of 30th and Yankee Hill Road.
93.7 The Ticket is Lincoln's home for Kansas City Royals baseball in 2026. Catch all the action as Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and a pitching rotation led by Cole Reagans try to lead the Royals back to the postseason. That's Kansas City Royals baseball all summer long. On the air in Lincoln at 93.7 The Ticket.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Hey everyone, this is Austin Orman from Old School with Foreman and Orman, live from 1040 O Street in the heart of downtown Lincoln, weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. My favorite thing about downtown Lincoln has to be the year-round energy. Downtown Lincoln never stops. It's easy to get to, has everything you could need or want in dining, entertainment, and retail, and of course it has Lincoln's best sports talk, proudly located in downtown Lincoln on the corner of 11th and O.
This message is brought to you by the Downtown Lincoln Association and 93.7 The Ticket.
Is your air conditioner ready for the hot weather ahead? Get it checked now before you really need it. Call Bryant now to schedule your spring air conditioning service check. No matter what brand equipment you have, Bryant's trained technicians will thoroughly clean, inspect, and test to make sure it's ready to cool efficiently when hot weather hits. Stay cool and comfortable with air conditioning services from Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111 to schedule your AC check. Bryant, whatever it takes.
At DWE Generations, having a plan matters, especially when it comes to protecting what's most important. They work with individuals, families, and business owners to help make smart financial decisions that support life today and set the foundation for generations. David Darlington, Russell Walton, and Cody Eiler bring decades of experience, and their dedicated team provides follow-through, answering questions, explaining next steps, and staying connected as life evolves. DWE Generations, a generational wealth planning firm. DWE Generations is a marketing name for individuals doing business as representatives of Northwestern Mutual. Visit generations.nm.com or call 402-483-7871 and ask for David, Russell, or Cody.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement. There are so many realtors in Lincoln and Omaha, but don't get overwhelmed by all of the no-names, plus all the different companies. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Real Estate is your go-to option, whether buying or selling residential, luxury, leasing, investment properties, or commercial property, small or large. Ben's team offers decades of experience, unbeatable customer service, and promises to fully protect your interests throughout the entire transaction. Call 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador Real Estate.
Nutrition Authority presents Fusion 30, an ultra premium protein ideal for anyone wanting to look, feel, and perform their best. Fusion 30 can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today for a free sample, visit with a certified nutritionist, and get better than internet pricing. For store info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
Gentlemen, are you ready for something beyond the ordinary haircut? At Scissors and Scotch Lincoln, they blend your old school barber feel with your favorite watering hole. Sink into a comfy chair, unwind with a complimentary drink, and let their master barbers handle the rest. It's not just grooming, it's an experience. Whether you're prepping for a big meeting, needing to get cleaned up before family comes to town, or just need a little time to yourself, Scissors and Scotch Lincoln delivers sharp style every time. Book now at Scissors and Scotch in Lincoln, just south of 30th and Yankee Hill Road.
93.7 The Ticket is Lincoln's home for Kansas City Royals baseball in 2026. Catch all the action as Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and a pitching rotation led by Cole Reagans try to lead the Royals back to the postseason. That's Kansas City Royals baseball all summer long. On the air in Lincoln at 93.7 The Ticket.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Hey everyone, this is Austin Orman from Old School with Foreman and Orman, live from 1040 O Street in the heart of downtown Lincoln, weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. My favorite thing about downtown Lincoln has to be the year-round energy. Downtown Lincoln never stops. It's easy to get to, has everything you could need or want in dining, entertainment, and retail, and of course it has Lincoln's best sports talk, proudly located in downtown Lincoln on the corner of 11th and O.
This message is brought to you by the Downtown Lincoln Association and 93.7 The Ticket.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Beyond the Spotlight again here with Rudy Gres IV. And
Payton
there you go.
Barthelemy.
There you go.
Barthelemy, guys.
Yeah, nice. So during the break, we did mention to Harrison a little bit that we are going to maybe plan a men's softball / baseball league at some point.
Or basketball.
Yeah, basketball, I won't be a part of that. I'm more of like a Zaza Pachulia. I'll get the other guys hurt. So I'm there to like, I'd be like the hack-a-shacker. That'd be it. I'd go in there to foul and then come out, maybe get some rebounds, and that's it. I'm not good at shooting. I'll make some random shots that just don't make sense sometimes, though. And then
throw me alley-oops, man.
I don't even know if I can do that. We'll see. We'll figure it out. But I think our baseball team would be stacked because really, like, you put me, Tristan, and Nick in there, I think we're legit. Like Jake Sorensen, I don't think he's going to help us very much on that baseball team. I'm not going to lie. Wyman probably won't help too much on that baseball game either. Maybe we can get DP to like DH for Nick Wyman. I think that might be our best bet there.
You put me in the outfield though, man.
Yeah.
You're not getting a single homer. You know that, right?
Yeah, we'd probably put you out there, put Harrison out there, and then put Austin Orman out there. Orman also played baseball.
Right.
I think we'd have a good outfield. We could put Nick behind the plate. I'll play first. I'll let Tristan play first. Actually, he's like 6'5", and then I'll go play third base or something. I used to play third base in high school. So, but anyways,
there you go.
Yeah, during the break, we were kind of figuring out what we were going to talk about, and so we're going to talk about a little bit about some of our highlights, some of our most memorable moments. So I'll let you start, whatever you want to get it out there.
So, Rudy, what I want to know actually from you is your first homer, like in-game homer at Wesleyan.
Yeah. It was that Florida one, actually.
Really? Was that freshman year for you?
No. So freshman year, I was on like the JV reserves team.
Okay.
And so we didn't play too many games. I want to say we had like 6 games that year. I had some good hits. I had some that went to the wall, whatever, but never got one out that year. Sophomore year, I didn't play too much. I was coming off of my knee surgery at that time. I had a knee surgery too.
Man.
And so I was coming off of that. I got some at-bats in there. Just, again, more line drives. I've never been one to kind of get under the ball and lift it too much. I'm more like hit the ball hard and then just barrel it up wherever it goes. So I've never really been like someone who tries to get under it to lift it. But then junior year, I didn't play. And then my first senior year, I ended up, that was last year or the year before, whatever it would have been.
Right.
And that one, I think that was obviously the most games I've played in a single season. So I had the most chances to do it. And while we were in Florida, I only had one that year, but it's whatever. I had some that hit the wall and some that, like this year, I had some that almost went out. And then unfortunately, the wind was coming in. I was so mad because that was on senior night too. I was like, just go. And it stopped right at the wall and he caught it. And I was like, great. But no, I mean, it was fun. Like I said, there was a lot of trash talk that game. And it was cool because we were in Florida for spring break. So my mom doesn't come up here every game, but she's here a decent amount to come see some of the games and all that, which is awesome. But Florida, they always make it like a family trip to go. Like they planned it ahead, all that stuff. So my mom was there, my stepdad, my sister, and my uncle and my aunt were there. And so they were all there, which was cool because I had a good week that week anyways. I was hitting good all week. But then that home run happens on the last day of it all. Like that was our last game. And so it was cool because we hit them. And usually what happens is, since we're Division III, we need our baseballs back. And so, yeah, luckily, my mom's boyfriend, my stepdad, whatever, I hit it. And I'm like watching it just leave. And I'm like I'm running the bases and I'm like, go. And then, of course, it goes. There's a slider up and in. So I just literally went to the deepest part of the field today, which was awesome.
Nice.
And I'm rounding the bases. I'm hyped up. I'm high-fiving coach. We do our jumping boom celebration. And then I'm like in the dugout high-fiving everybody again. Everyone's just hyped because we took the lead on that too. And so I'm like high-fiving. I'm looking like through the dugout to the crowd or whatever. And I see my mom's boyfriend just sprinting back from where I hit it with the ball in his hand. And it was the other team's ball. So they were supposed to get their ball back. And he like told them like, there's no way you're getting this ball back, whatever. And he's like a very loud individual. So I can probably tell like, they were like, okay, that's fine. And so I ended up keeping my ball. Some guys on our team don't get that
That's
luxury.
so cool.
But yeah, I got my ball back. I hit the home run in front of my family. We won the game. It was cool. So I mean, I had fun. It was, again, the trash talk made it even better.
Yeah.
But no, it was cool. I mean, it definitely sparked the season for me there. And then we just kept it rolling, kept hitting good. Didn't hit another one, but had some doubles in there. And it was fun though. That's definitely, I still have the ball in my room somewhere. I got to find it actually, but
You got to save that one.
yeah,
Man. You said
it's somewhere
to get it for
yeah,
you.
it is somewhere in my room, I think. Or maybe I might have sent it home with them. I don't know, but it's somewhere. But no, it was very memorable. I got it on video, so it's on like my Instagram somewhere. So it was super cool though. It was awesome.
There you go.
What about you though? What about some first touchdowns in there?
All right. I got to paint the picture.
All right.
So it would have been my freshman year. Yes, freshman year. No, it would have been my sophomore year, maybe, right? We'll go one of the years. It might have been my sophomore year because I think I wore 6. Yeah, number 6. So it was a home game, night game, actually. I think it might have been a JV one.
Okay.
But I was lined up at wideout. We call my favorite play ever. I don't even know if I can say it on here. Can I? It's a Pittsburgh chop. All right. Pittsburgh chop.
Okay.
Right. The Pittsburgh and then Steelers chop Pittsburgh. That's other stuff. Anyway, basically, Payton, beat your guy. All right. Payton run a corner post and beat your guy. So we line up. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the play. This is the play. We're like 30 yards out. Like, this is the play. This is touchdown. I'm gonna get this. Obviously hikes the ball. James Aite, one of my good friends. He doesn't go here anymore. Just graduated with us though.
Nice.
James,
Congrats.
shout out James. So we play action. It says hike, play action. I'm running obviously at like 30 miles an hour because I'm like Tyreek Hill on the field. And then I hit him with the craziest corner. I'm telling you, Rudy, I set it up. I stemmed inside. I said, us, corner. He bit on the corner so hard. Then stick in the ground, post right to the middle of the field, wide open. James Aite line, like pretty much on a rope. Didn't even throw a 2-ball. It was really more like a 1-ball, just on the rope, right to me. Touchdown. Honestly, was one of the greatest moments ever. I mean, I remember scoring. I looked at the sideline. Everybody's so happy for me. I was like, yo, this is crazy. We ended up winning that game. Actually, the first JV game, I think Wesleyan won in like, I don't know how many seasons actually. So it might have been my freshman year then. And that was amazing to be part of that. We were in the locker room going crazy. We were dancing. Got a couple just videos of us hyping up. Yeah, that was amazing. And then at the time I was in a long distance kind of thing. Literally hopped on a plane the next day and just dipped. That was great. That was great.
That is awesome, dude. So
that's great.
Obviously, I know football's different on this part, but do y'all get to keep the footballs? No, right? I'm assuming probably not.
No, we don't keep the footballs. I have the clip, and the clip is posted somewhere.
Nice.
And that's what it matters. I don't know. It's so weird. I don't know if you've been able to do it. A lot of people talk about it. That surreal moment, that moment when you're like you made it, kind of like it's so weird. But in sports, there's a moment when you're on the field where you're in your helmet and it's almost like you're looking at it through like a camera point of view. And it's like, it's the most surreal moment. I don't know if you get that.
Like an out of body type of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if you get like right before maybe you're at bat. And then
I would think for us, it happens after the play.
Really?
Yeah. Because like I've had that moment. I've had it in high school for sure. High school was fun. High school, I just think it's because those guys weren't that good. So I was just having a lot of fun. But I think it definitely happened. The home run, I think I did because I joke about it, but like when I was rounding the bases and it's like I don't remember touching any base at all. Like I just remember the ball going over the fence. And the next thing I know, like I'm in the dugout, everyone's going crazy.
Yeah.
But I also think there was my first hit ever. Actually, again, happened the same year. My first varsity hit happened the same year, and so I was already frustrated the entire season. I'm not gonna lie, based off the first 2 games because. Again, I'm just talking about myself here, but I had like one of the better falls of our guys. I think I was top 5 in like every offensive stat.
Nice.
And so I was like, okay, like I'm expecting to be in the starting lineup. I mean, like I had the hopes for myself was on. It wasn't anything else. Did anybody else did anything bad? But it was like, I know how good I did was all. And then we get to game 1. I'm not playing. And I'm like, okay, that's weird. Game 2 though, I was like, okay, like I'll probably be in game 2. These games don't matter. Didn't play that game either. And I was like, all right, so that was one day. We get to the next day, Game 3, I'm still not playing. And at this point, I'm like, okay, like I don't know what is going on. And then the guy that was in that spot ends up having a bad game. And again, I was like, I didn't even tell myself, oh, I might go in. I was like, I don't even care what happens now. And then next game, I ended up starting game 4, and I was like, okay, cool. And then my first at bat actually was my first hit of the year. I hit like a double to the wall. I scored 2 runs. And so I'm on second base, and I had like that feeling of like, I was looking at the dugout, just like doing our double celebration and everything. But then I was like, oh crap. Like I kind of, I'm not going to lie. I was rounding going to second. And like, I was cussing up a storm as I'm running the bases. But like, I respectfully, it was all directed at our coaching decisions for that game. Cause I was like more so, how could you not want to put me in here? Like, look what I'm doing now is basically why I was cussing. Yeah. I was like, I just proved you wrong in one at bat. And then I had a good game after that and started playing more after that. But then it was like, I was at second base and I was like, okay, like one, I proved to myself that I wasn't just crazy for thinking I should be in these games. And then 2, it's like, I'm giving us more of a lead here. Like I had a good, like it was a good at bat, obviously. And I was like, okay, like I do belong as a college baseball player. And then after that, I had a great year. So, I mean, that happens, but I think for us, it's after the play. Cause then it's like, okay, like, let me think of what just really happened there.
Yeah, no, there's just some moments where I'm out there, even on the track without a helmet. It's better with a helmet because then I feel enclosed. Yeah. And if anybody knows, I wear a visor all the time. Okay. So practices wise, because you can only do D3, but I wear the darkest tinted visor ever. Because it honestly, 1, I look like Batman. Okay. And 2, it's like I'm in my own world. I'm in my own just like headspace. Yeah. And all I hear is honestly my breathing. And all I see, honestly, it's so weird because I get into this moment where all I hear is breathing and then the pounding of my heart. And then I don't hear any whistles. I don't hear any set hikes. I don't hear anything. And then all of a sudden, after a big collision, like, pads to pads, whatever, that's when I hear stuff. It's the craziest moment ever in football. I love it so much. My first, like you talked about your first varsity hit, my first varsity catch actually happened the kind of way like it happened for you. Mm-hmm. So it definitely was my sophomore year, and I was playing some of the best ball ever. Like I even hopped in some JV games, and I was cooking in JV games. Yeah. I was getting a bunch of catches, bunch of yards, whatever. And then I think we were up against this team sophomore year, so it should have been Luther or so, or something like that. And I'm like, why am I not getting in the game? Why am I not getting in the game? I should have at least been second to the number 1 receiver at my spot. You know what I mean? That's what I felt like. I even talked to coach about it, everything. They finally put me in the game, backups everybody, honestly, in like the 4th quarter. And I run a 12-yard curl, 14 back to 12-yard curl, catch for the first down. And I celebrate kind of. It was almost it was kind of like you, how you were running the bases cursing. But I was just like first down. And then I looked at the coaches like, duh, like, what are you doing? Like, can we do this again? Like put me in the game. I'm going to, make these catches for you, kind of thing like that. And I think after that play, I got taken out. Or no, after that drive, I got taken out because the game was over with. And I was still kind of pissed off. I was like, why are we not force feeding me the ball now? Yeah. As a wide receiver, I mean, I think that's the wide receiver mindset, though, to be pretty down about it all the time. I want the ball all the time.
I think the only thing similar to like that kind of like silence feeling, because obviously like when you're in the batter's box, you don't hear too much of the crowd. Usually that's maybe just because they're getting quiet as the pitch is coming, which is fine. But there's times where you obviously on the road is when you can hear a lot of the chatter from the crowd, because our conference, they're very good at being trash talkers, and obviously you're in the box and you're probably 30 feet away from the bleachers at that point, and so you hear a lot of the opposing teams. Mm-hmm. And so they're I'm sure it makes me look like I'm a jerk of a baseball player at times, but like we were playing, it was actually at home. They took over our stadium. Luther, when they came to town this year, I was so mad because I was like, there's so much blue here, and like we're getting our tails kicked right now, first of all. So this is awesome. That's but then crazy. I started game 3 that day, and then I'm in the box and I'm like battling off. I'm like fouling pitches off, taking balls, whatever it is. And then I'm like, there's a ball that it's a 2-2 count. So if it's a strike, obviously it's strike 3. If it's a ball, it's ball 3. And I'm still in the batter's box. And it was a slider away, and I knew it was a ball. They called it a ball. And I'm like, okay. And like someone in the crowd is like, oh, like that's a strike. Like he wanted it. I know he wanted it. And then I looked at the crowd and I mouthed something over there. And then and I'm like, I said something to the crowd, and then I get walked on the next pitch. And I was like talking crap as I'm walking down the line there. But it's like,
I love it.
Yeah, I was a jerk of a baseball player, especially whenever we'd go on the road though, because like the last year, not this year. This year was when there's nothing to mention on this year. So last year, we went to Co, and Co's one of the best teams in the country. They're ranked like top 25, I think, when we were playing. I think they're like 19th in the country. Their pitcher, one of the best in the country, and he was throwing a no-hitter against us through like 4 innings. And then I come up, I break up the no-hitter, and then I get a hit, and I'm on first. And they're like just yelling. And then, of course, our guy gets out, so the inning's over. And then I come up again. I get another hit off of this guy. And then I get to first, and they're like, oh, like, it doesn't matter. Like, you're whatever. Y'all are still going to lose. And then, again, we do end the inning, actually. They're right. The next guy grounds out. I clearly remember that because then I'm running back, and I'm, like, running past some of their guys on, like, the third baseline there because they were all around that field. They were making some crazy jokes to our outfielders in the outfield. They're bringing up moms. Like, it was awesome.
Dang.
And so I'm, like, rounding the bases, and I didn't say anything this time. It was more of a hand gesture if you can figure it out. And then it was just fun, though, because, like, it's stuff that nobody can see unless it's interacting with them or unless someone on our team sees it. But I loved it. I mean, it makes me want to go out there and play better. And then I'll finish this one up real quick, and then we'll go to a short break here. But we were playing Simpson at Simpson last year. Okay. And the softball team, they finished their game or practice, whatever it was. And then they come to the stadium because they're right across the field from each other. And so they walk over, and I'm up to bat. I do remember this. It was the 9th inning where it's 1-1, I think, or 0-0. Like, we were tied. I get a base hit to left field. I'm like, okay, cool. And then I get pinch ran for. And then there's people, like, talking trash. They're like, yeah, like, get him off the bases, like, whatever. And I was like, that's the plan. That's exactly where I'm going. And so, but then, like, then our pitcher goes in. We end up scoring a run later on. Our pitcher is, like, throwing. He had, because every pitcher, they come out of the bullpen, they throw warm-up pitches. I don't think he threw a single strike in any of those pitches warming up. And so we were pretty worried because the tying run was on second, I think. Oh, man. And then he ends up, like, 1 pitch, 1 out, innings over, game's over. And then we all just, like, started, like, yelling at the crowd after the game. And it was fun. We got in trouble for it, but it was awesome. I loved it. Exactly. Yeah. But with that being said, we will be taking a pretty short break here. I'll probably trim it down. We got no worries today. But, again, keep it all tuned right here to Beyond the Spotlight. We're getting into some shorter stories here. Send out some shout-outs, and then we'll send y'all on y'all's way on this Sunday. Again, this is Beyond the Spotlight, 93.7 The Ticket.
Like just the other day, I was building my first house. I've seen many changes to our building market in Lincoln. It's been a fun road.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
You know, we hear this a lot where I don't want to live in a cookie cutter home. Well, let's come up with some answers on what we're going to build, where we're going to build it, and what it's going to cost. One thing that we started doing early on was we started building neighborhoods. I'm a firm believer in character in your street and in your neighborhood. I like choice. I like variation. I like maybe something a little bit different in a neighborhood that you don't see in every neighborhood. I think it's great to have choices, its uniqueness, and I think that's what gives a neighborhood character. And I think that's what we've done over the years.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Hey, this is Jay Foreman, the host of Old School, 3 to 6 p.m. here at 93.7 The Ticket. And one of my favorite things to do is come down and meet all the fans before and after as they cheer on our beloved Huskers.
This message is brought to you by the Downtown Lincoln Association and 93.7 The Ticket.
Let's fly. Your next trip starts at Lincoln Airport with American Airlines. Now flying nonstop service to Dallas, Fort Worth, and Chicago. American Airlines connects Lincoln to major hubs and destinations around the globe. Wherever you're headed, LNK gets you there with new nonstop flights on American Airlines. Now boarding. Convenient, fast, and stress-free. Book your next flight at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
Back to The Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Beyond the Spotlight here on 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com. Before we get to that, I do have a YouTube comment here about softball. Mississippi State up 4-0 on the top of the fourth. We did end up looking at that and tuning into that GBR here. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously, winner advances. I think this is kind of what upset me about earlier this season. I'll talk about it on Real Talk in the next hour probably, but that's what upset me that Nebraska was not ranked number one because Oklahoma, we talked about it. Oklahoma's not the Oklahoma that we're used to. This is
not at all.
Yeah, this is a weak Oklahoma. I mean, they're still obviously going to be the top talent in the country. You recruit the best, but this isn't the Oklahoma that I've been scared of as a Longhorn fan at all. So this is awesome to see for me. I love it. I think Texas plays today too. They're in their third game. It's interesting. I think college softball too. Like, I mean,
oh yeah,
everybody besides whoever's facing Nebraska, I'll say, is very competitive. I think Nebraska's just tiers above everybody else right now too. That's why. But
I'm seeing it, Rudy. I'm looking at games. I'm looking at this game right here, Mississippi and Oklahoma. But then I'm looking tape. I watch little highlights of ours. I watch our games back, and it's our players, our softball girls, are doing everything better than everybody else right now.
Yeah, I think it's crazy too because like
as an athlete, it's crazy to see the difference. You see what I'm saying? Athletic wise, even the tiniest twitches and movements. It's honestly, I think what gets me in sports is the decision making.
Yeah.
That I see certain athletes are tiers away from other ones.
Yeah.
You know, because in baseball, there's certain decision making that you got to make on the fly. And then some people don't see it, but a real athlete, maybe a real baseball player who maybe speaks the language, or then even just an athletic person that speaks the language can see the tiny nuances and things that you do on the field and actually like appreciate it more. Honestly, that's where you want to get a coach who sees that as well.
Yeah. I think that's too. Like Rhonda Revelle here is doing a crazy job, and I don't think people. I think everyone does give her credit, rightfully so. But I think people also, it's easy to kind of just focus on the players because you do have Jordy Fromm, you got Alexis Jensen, and all these, just Ava Kuzak, whoever it may be, who did come up finally and got a first hit in a while. But like they're all just contributing in the right way. I think no one's trying to be the hero, and I think that's kind of what separates a lot of these girls here. It's because I think from a majority of sports, and I'll be honest, besides football, if you're playing at Nebraska, I think you're really intrigued at the idea of like representing something bigger than just yourself.
Right.
And I think that's like most evident with the softball team. As right now, Mississippi just hit a 1-out double. Hopefully that one comes around too. But no, I just think that team is so selfless, and they actually like winning is all they care about. Like there's girls who probably haven't touched the field in months on that team, or maybe even all season.
Yeah. You saw Husker lady volleyball, not a single one of them again entered the transfer portal.
Yep. Like that's the thing. Like if you're here, I will say I think winning does make a big difference here. Because realistically, if our volleyball team sucked, that wouldn't be the case. If our softball team sucked, that would not be the case. Our football team sucks, so maybe that's why that is the case. But I don't know. I mean, I'm excited. We're gonna get we'll get some Husker athletes in here over the summer for sure on our show. We'll get some tennis players on here. We'll do whatever we got to do to get some of those stories out there too. But I think the more you talk to these athletes, the more, like yesterday, I was at the press conference and the post pressers for the baseball team, and they were just, their biggest thing on why they want to host a regional isn't because like, oh, like we get to be home. Oh, and like that is a big part, but, and not like an ego reason of, oh yeah, like we want to be the first team to host it in so many years, whatever it may be. It was literally because they said, I think it was Jeter Wordley. He said, we want to host it because like our fans deserve it. And our fans, like they've showed out every game all year. They showed out yesterday. And that was not a waste of time, but it was like, wow, like there were so many fans leaving that game early, and it was like, yeah, I don't blame you guys, and I'm working here, so I got to stay here. But but no, I mean, I just think it's so like the more selfless the teams seem, the better they usually are here. And football, just I don't think there's any way around that either right now. But I don't know, anything you want to wrap it up with before we go out? Any shout outs? Anything you got going on?
Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking about that. Honestly, I don't remember his name because just the food and the experience was so good. But shout out my server at Wings and Rings last Wednesday, dude. Like that was amazing. I think he said something about, hey, you're on 93% of a ticket. Like I recognize you. That made my day, man. Nice. So thank you so much. Shout out you. I'll definitely be back soon to learn your name.
Nice. But yeah, I got nothing, honestly. I think I'll talk about it again on my show in the next hour if anyone's going to stick around, all of our listeners here. But I'm just pretty glad and pretty happy with how all of our coverage went from the Big Ten tournament this week. I was able to get a lot of stuff in there, and my phone was running out of storage. I'm not going to lie, but it was worth it. It was worth it. I was deleting a lot of videos this morning, so it should be working a little better now. But no, I mean, hopefully the Husker baseball team can figure it out. That was a very poor showing yesterday, but like I said last night on our post-game show, that I'd rather have it now, rather have it in the conference tournament that doesn't really mean too much And if we don't host, we don't host. But that team can't show up again next week. Because then if we do, we're in for some problems. But again, with that being said, we will try to have some guests here next week. And then the following week, I will not be here. So it'll just be Payton here. But we'll try to get someone on next week. We'll work on all that, get you some more stories here that do need to be highlighted and be here on Beyond the Spotlight. Again, this is Rudy Gres IV.
Gary Payton Barthelemy.
And this was Beyond the Spotlight at 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.